So previously on Making Home, we made over at my fireplace, but before that, it was checking off room after room after room. But today we're gonna be in the laundry room, which is actually in one of my favorite makeovers of my space, which is my basement suite. I call it a suite because it's my bedroom and my big walk-in closet area, as well as my spa-like bathroom. And in this bathroom, behind some doors, is basically my utility room, and sandwiched between my hot water tank and my furnace is my laundry. And as much as I hate to admit it, these doors are probably open like 80% of the time because I'm always at some point in the laundry process. So we're gonna have to make this look better. There's a wall now in this laundry room, and it's exactly what I need. Please work, please work. That would have been ridiculous. I would have quit. And thanks to Book of the Month for sponsoring a portion of today's video. First up, I definitely want to cover all of this exposed plumbing, gas, and wiring, but I want to do this with a faux tin tile. Because there are some important water shutoffs and gas shutoffs here, I want to keep it light and removable. On top of the laundry, I want to do a wood tabletop. This is just going to be a nice solid surface and really warm it up and make it look better. A big part of this makeover is going to be storage and organization, so make sure you stay tuned because I have some good hacks regarding that. And lastly, just some aesthetic stuff like painting some pipes, a new pipe hanger system. So Rochelle and I took a look at what we're dealing with, and this is a difficult space to work in, but what we've decided is that we're going to add studs to the back wall as well as build out the wood beams above. This is gonna give us a good surface to attach those faux tin tiles with actually magnets so that they're easy to remove. This is definitely a kind of random solution, but I think it's gonna be the best case scenario for a lightweight and removable option. A good hack if you're taking something apart, whether it's furniture or a part of your house, maybe just take a photo before you do it so that you can reference it later if needed. It'll come in handy. While Rochelle gets started on the strapping, I'm gonna head to the studio to work on some other projects for the space. Oh my God. Holy crap. This is so heavy. This is the butcher block that I chose for the top of the washer and dryer. It is alderwood? Never really heard of that wood, but I'm hoping it'll stain up nicely because I do want this to be a warmer, darker tone. And it is really heavy, so I think it'll sit on top of the units just fine. It's not like it needs to be attached or anything like that. The vibrations shouldn't move it because this is so heavy. I was looking all over Marketplace and other sources for secondhand options like cutoffs, old tabletops that I could use, and I just wasn't able to find anything in time that was the right size that would work for the space. But just a reminder, always check first because I found some good cutoff pieces that would have worked, but like they were going like this. Who doesn't want a good piece of wood? So the plan is to get this cut to size to fit the top of my washer dryer, and then we'll get it sanded up. So since this butcher block is extremely heavy and also really dense wood to cut through, I'm actually gonna cut through it on my tabletop with only going through halfway at a time. Since I don't have an extra hand today, I don't have anybody to catch another piece if I were to cut this off of the table all the way through at once. I'm gonna make sure that my saw blade is set to only go through half of the wood. Then I'm going to clamp down a straight piece of wood as a guide at my measurement so that the blade lines up with my cut line. Once the one side is cut through, I'm flipping the piece over to cut through the other side, making sure that all my measurements line up exact. And now I have two pieces. This is really exciting. Honestly, this is such a hack if you are working by yourself or cutting through really heavy, really dense wood, because we don't want any offcuts hanging off of a table. That would just be disaster zone. In addition to working on this butcher block tabletop, I'm also going to be making a floating shelf for the space. Now, Michelle has done a how-to episode on floating shelves 3 different ways, and that is all the information you'll need to know. So I'm gonna make sure that's linked here so you can watch that. Seriously, you should go watch that video. So to make this shelf, I'm just gonna start off by cutting my 2x8 to size, and I've already marked out where the studs are gonna be on the wall in my space, so I can drill my pocket holes accordingly.
Back at Kelsey's, I'm cutting 2x4s to size to attach to the wall as a type of strapping or stud.
Alright, so I cut these 2x8 boards for the supports that are going to come out, but what I need to do now is actually mark out where we're going to need to notch it out, because there's pipes and hoses and all that are going in front of these before I can pocket hold them together. So I'm going to have to cut out this chunk here in order to avoid that ice maker pipe. We're going to have to notch it out. I love it when you let you, baby. Love it. You know what, let's just pocket hold it on, and then if it works, we'll do the other 4 pieces.
After making all my cuts, we're gonna make a quick trip to Sandtown. The goal is to get both my shelf and butcher block top ready for staining. Okay, after some wood conditioner, it is time to go to Stain City. I am choosing a color that will ideally match and complement my mid-century modern dresser turned vanity that is in my bathroom, and I'm also doing the floating shelf the same color. Last stop on this train is Sealville. Are we done with this analogy pun? Yeah, I think so. Oh, no drips. No, no, no. Okay, while we wait for this first coat of sealer to dry, I want to open up our book of the month delivery that we just got to the office. We actually have kind of an unofficial book club here at TheSorryGirls because we're always recommending each other novels and trading books. I feel like something that stands in the way of me reading is actually deciding on which book to read next, coupled with the fact that when it's a new release and I put it on hold at the library, it can take months, like even half a year for me to be able to take out that book just because it's so in demand. So the cool thing about Book of the Month is that it's a subscription service where I get to choose from 5 to 7 curated best books of the month. Definitely saving me time and helping me with some decision paralysis. 80% of their selections are actually debuts and up-and-coming authors, which means that we get to discover books that we otherwise may not have found. Okay, so I actually ordered 10 books for the entire team to enjoy, swap, and discuss. And I got these from Book of the Month's backlist, which you can add on to your monthly Book of the Month order. A book I've been excited to read is The Maid by Nita Prose because of the mystery element. And another book that I've heard a lot about but have not yet read is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. And this one intrigues me because it's a coming-of-age story about friends whose creativity brings them fame and riches. With Book of the Month, the shipping is always free, and they just launched audiobooks in addition to their hardcovers. So that means that you can download and listen to that on the app. And every month you get to choose between those two formats. October books are out now, and make sure you use the code SPOOKY to get your first book for just $5. Okay, I need to get back to my project. All I need to do is a light sand, another coat of sealer, and we good to go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
While Kelsey finishes up at the office, I'm in the final stretch of putting this laundry room back together.
So we got some supports on the ceiling joists that are hopefully gonna hold our tiles to the ceiling. Woo! I'm so tired and I'm so hot right now, but we are so close to being done the framing that we just gotta push through. We're gonna put these lights and the smoke detector back up, and then we'll be done for the day.
Okay, how good of a job did Rochelle do? Like, there's a wall now in this laundry room, and it's exactly what I need. I have my shelf here that I'm just hoping these holes line up. Let's see about that. It's a little tight, but I think it'll work. Okay, I'm gonna load the shelf with the pocket hole screws so that I can just hold it up with a level and get it in. Right? Wow. Even with one screw, that's a good hold. Guys, hanging things is really easy when you know where your studs are. Honestly, so easy. We have a shelf! Do you know how long I've wanted a shelf here for? Like, since I moved in. Does that look even though? Does that look even? Okay, so the weird thing is it's even to the ceiling and like the earth. It's level to the earth, but it's not level to the duct because the duct isn't quite level, so we will have to work around that. Woo! I love it when things work out. So the next thing I'm working on are the faux tin tiles that are gonna go on the back that will be easily removable. I picked up two different colors from my hardware store. There's this nickel tone, which is still silvery, but it has a little bit of warmth to it. And then the full-on like silver classic tin color. My first thought is that the nickel was gonna be the move just because it is a little bit warmer, but when I see it in the space, it doesn't complement the existing utility stuff that I have there because the existing utility is all silver, including the duct. And also when I see it in the space, it just feels very glam. When I definitely wanna lean more kind of just classic / industrial. I think I will be returning the nickel and I'm gonna go with this silvery tin. So now I just need to cut out all the pieces to go above the shelf, below the shelf, maybe on the duct, on the ceiling. I only have 40 square feet of it, so I only have 5 of these 2x4 sheets. So I hope I have enough. You can only buy it 5 sheets at a time. So it's like I'm not about to get another 5 sheets because this does come in a little expensive at $200-ish for the 5 sheets, which is a lot, but I think it's the most affordable, easiest to remove and attach type of material that's gonna look good in the space. So let's get to cutting. It's always best to make a template when you're dealing with something like this where it's hard to get exact measurements. So I'm just using some leftover paper from my recent Sephora order to create a template. With my tin tile taped into position, I went around with scissors to mark where I needed to remove a bit more material. I don't know if you guys caught the vlog on the vlog channel where I went faux tin tile shopping, which by the way, you should follow our vlog channel because I think we have a few vlogs planned, including when I go to Austin. I'm gonna try living in Austin, and I definitely want to vlog while I'm there. But anyways, the audacity I thought I had to use vintage tin tile for this. Like, can you imagine cutting out all these pieces? Like, I actually don't know what I was thinking. Not to mention the vintage tin tile is like very warped, and it's literally tin. Like, it is metal. That is not easy to cut. But I would love to use vintage tin ceiling tiles somewhere, like maybe in our office. It could just be really cool, especially if you're just like hammering it to a wall or something, then the warped doesn't matter. But this, that would have been ridiculous. I would have quit. With the tiles cut out and dry fit, it's the next day and I'm heading to the hardware store for some supplies that we need in order to keep working. You're just gonna have to stay tuned to see how I use these. It's definitely not the way they're intended. I also need some little rubber feet for the bottom of the butcher block. And lastly, some pipe. Some guy just came in, so now I can't drive through. Not the worst.
No doubt about it, baby, this ain't right. No doubt about it, don't wanna fight.
Okay, so next up we're going to take down this dry fit, and then we're gonna go ahead and attach the magnets. Okay, so with these magnets in place, let's try cutting the metal strapping, because then we have to glue that onto the tin sheets. So I'm actually gonna use this metal strapping that I just picked up in my cutoff tool, which seems to be coming in very handy recently. Between cutting that tile for the fireplace makeover and now this, it's a handy little tool. I'm gonna cut these into little squares that can be used on the tin tiles to magnetize to the magnets. This might work, this might not. We'll figure it out together. Okay, as I was literally just walking down the stairs, I think I came up with the idea of how to figure out where to attach on the tiles the metal. What if I add a piece of looped tape on top of the magnet, then I put the sheet up, and then when I pull it down, where the loop tape is where I glue the metal on. Okay, so this kind of worked. I got my stickies, got my metal. I'm gonna use some 2-part epoxy because that's kind of quick setting, strong hold. And also we used like an all-purpose construction adhesive when we did the plastic tin tile on the inside of the phone booth that I renovated. And it actually ended up kind of like melting and warping the plastic, which I'm very surprised by because I thought this is exactly what you're supposed to use. I don't know what went wrong there, but we're not using an all-purpose construction adhesive today. We're gonna use the 2-part epoxy. This one seemed to be safe for like plastics. So we're gonna mix that up and get our metal glued on. Please work, please work, please work. It's not like, it's like a strongish hold. I think it's gonna work. Like, that's up. I'm not touching it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so for on top of this duct, instead of doing the whole metal thing, like obviously that's metal, so I glued the magnets to the sheet, and then I get to just use that metal as the metal surface. I'm obsessed. So removable, so easy. Dear future homeowner, you need to watch this video to understand what's going on here and why there's a bunch of magnets behind this wall, but let's put this back together. Right?
Testing. This is very loud. Press now to cancel test. Test cancelled.
This is very loud.
Oh man, that was good. That was good. My parents are actually coming to town tomorrow for my birthday, so maybe we can do a little reveal for them. Wouldn't that be exciting? I don't know if they'll like it, but we can try. Okay, this is looking amazing. And the last two things I want to do today are actually paint these pipes white. They are already white, but they have a bunch of like writing on them and like glue. So I'm just gonna give them a fresh coat of paint so it doesn't look so junky. There are some stickers on these vents, and I know these are obviously very important vents. I believe they're taking air in and out of the furnace. It even says caution carbon monoxide if you don't install this properly. So I'm just gonna make sure that those stickers are still seen. I think that's a safety thing. Then I'm gonna replace my hanging pipe since I've now hidden that under the tin ceiling. So industrial. No. Oh, we're back, baby. So many clothes to hang up. Okay, I know today is gonna be a good day because we are finishing this laundry room, and somehow I need to make functional look aesthetic. Stay tuned to see if I make that happen because I'm not putting any decor in this space. It is just purely a functional space, and that is okay. So I've had a really good Facebook Marketplace morning. I just picked up these two baskets. They're originally from CB2. I got them for $25 when I think they were $50 each. I'm happy about this. I actually think I only need one, but these are gorgeous, and I think they're gonna look great in the space. And for $10, I just got this little 1 gallon dispenser, which I think is gonna be perfect for my laundry detergent. So I actually have this, and I brought along my other jar because I'm gonna go do some bulk refill. There's so many bulk refillable places, especially in Toronto. Hopefully in your city, I encourage you to check it out. Everything from like food, laundry, shampoo, anything. I don't know why this brings me so much joy. The next thing we need to do to bring this place together is to bring in the countertop, which means I'm first gonna put on those little rubber feet. And I think with that, we're on to final touches. I definitely want to make sure these jars are labeled so I don't get confused, and my favorite method for that is a wax pencil. Let me know if you remember when Becky and I first made these wire baskets because they are an OG DIY that I still have. Hi. Hi. Look pretty. It's not this.
It's not, we're not reacting to this?
No, even though this is done. Do you like my tile work?
Yeah.
Very nice. It almost looks wider for some reason. Maybe I just haven't seen it in a while, or because the mirror's gone.
I think if the mirror was too big for it.
It is. Picture before.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Fancy.
Oh, damn. Darn, that is nice.
Good job.
Well done, yes, I like it.
This is just it has magnets on it.
Oh yeah.
So it's easy to access.
Yeah.
No, that looks great, eh?
Yeah.
And the shelves are punched right in.
Rochelle's floating shelf method video. I watched it. I made a floating shelf. Looks good, eh, with the butcher block?
Yep.
I got these this
Oh,
morning.
that's good. And the baskets, yeah, those are nice. Those are perfect, eh?
Yeah, very functional now. And look, I lost my rod because we hit it, so we made a new fake one.
So you actually made one?
Well-
I mean, you...
Just did a fake, it's just fake.
Oh my gosh.
I am already loving how functional this space is, how aesthetic it is, how nice it looks with the doors open. Like, I don't have to be ashamed anymore when I leave the doors to the laundry space open because it's so beautiful. It matches my vanity dresser like perfectly, and I just feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this little nook. I'm also loving my little miniature bulk store that I have in my own house, and then I can just refill my hand soaps, etc. from there. It's so perfect. I definitely want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. So you saw a bit of it in this video when my parents walked in, but if you want to see my fireplace makeover, you can check that out here. I needed to show you that this is Barney. This is not Barney.